Hello, my name is Steve Hoffman. In Silicon Valley, they call me Captain Hoff because I am the captain of Founder Space. I want to answer the question, what stage is pre-revenue? So in venture capital, pre-revenue is almost always, but not always, early stage. So for most startups, if you don't have any revenue, you're early stage. But let me give you the exceptions to this rule. And there are many. So a social media startup like Facebook or Twitter, they didn't have revenue for a long time. I mean, look at Twitter. I mean, they got all the way to going public without really having substantial revenue. So, are they early stage? No. It really depends. Pre-revenue is early stage for many startups. So if you're an e-commerce startup or you're a startup that's a SaaS startup, software as a service, usually when you don't have any revenue, most investors would consider you early stage, meaning angel funding, seed stage, which is a little beyond that, pre-Series A, sometimes Series A. But investors want to take the risk out of investing. So usually they want to wait till they see something, some activity happening before they put in the money. Now angels are different. Angels will come in right at the early stage. Seed investors a lot of times will come in, they don't care about revenue. But you start to get up to the institutional rounds like Series A, revenue becomes really important. But then there's startups like Magic Leap, or Oculus, no revenue whatsoever, no product, and still they're raising tens of millions, or in Magic Leap's case, like close to $1 billion in venture funding with no revenue and no product launch. Is that crazy? Well, personally, I think it's a bit crazy. But you see in Oculus Rift's case, they had a big payoff, a $2 billion exit. They never launched a product. They never had revenue. So really the question of pre-revenue depends on what type of startup you have. Is it easy for you to get to revenue? That's the real question. So if you look at startups like Oculus, it took them 4 years. They were acquired before they launched their first product. It took a long time to develop that product, so investors weren't waiting for revenue. But if you have a startup that is really early, and it's very easy for you to get revenue, like a simple e-commerce site, they're going to wait until you have revenue. So pre-revenue will mean that you're very early stage. Whereas other startups like Twitter and social networks, they know you're going to make money. They're not looking at the revenue. What they're looking at is the user growth. Are users engaging with their product? Are they coming back? Are you getting lots, like millions of users? Then revenue doesn't matter, because what investors want is to see into the future. If they can see into the future that you're going to become big, they don't care. If they can see into the future that you're going to make a lot of money, then they'll wait. Pre-revenue doesn't matter. So that's my answer to your question. Go out there, go get your revenue.